And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of our broadcast. Welcome back to the OSC 2025 mid-season playoffs number 1, day 3. We just wrapped up with 4 intense best of 3s. Now we have 4 remaining. Oh boy. And honestly, they went by pretty quickly. Yo, is there a world where we still nah, I probably shouldn't. I was like, is there a world where we could still cast KSL after this? Like, nah, I probably shouldn't, because we still have 2 more casts later on tonight, so I should be getting some rest after this. Regardless, we have our ZvP, we have SHIN versus Arrogfire coming up next. They're going to be facing off here in the upper bracket, and we'll see how they fare off here. Arrogfire has been looking very impressive as of late. Now, if you're watching the Sparkling Tuna Cup last week, you would know that Arrogfire, he went on a crazy run, a crazy performance. Arrogfire, he came second in Sparkling Tuna Cup, and how did he get there? He took down some big Protoss opponents. He took down Creator, he took down Skillus, he took down some of the best Protoss players out there in Europe and in Korea, and that's where he thrived. I would say that is his best and strongest matchup, but how does he fare against a Zerg opponent? We're here to find out. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Green Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing his new team, Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the French Protoss player, the Purple Protoss. It is Arrogfire. Here we go. And again, Arrogfire, he's been showing an amazing display when it comes to PvP as of late. As I mentioned, taking down Creator, taking down Skillus, but we'll see how he compares to SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. When it comes to his PvZ, from at least what I've seen, Arrogfire, he isn't really too much of a cheesy player. He doesn't deviate too much. He's not like, you know, a Night Phoenix or a Jumi or anything like that. He typically does, you know, play open up standard, Stargate to Oracle, but we'll see if that remains true. We'll see if that remains true. We'll see if that is his approach coming into SHIN. But now, hatch gas full, standard opener out of SHIN, no early gases, no early spawning pool. Likewise, Arrogfire going for his own gate expand into Cybercore as well. Standard openers all around. And welcome one more to Pylon. We did briefly discuss Pylon earlier in the broadcast when we did feature them, when we featured this map during Solar series, but Pylon is known for all ins. Pylon is a very wide map, that is true. There are a lot of bases, but that can be deceiving because the rush distance by ground is very short, the path by ground is very direct as well, and to kind of prove that as well, to show an example of that, earlier today we featured Solar. He was up against Bappy. He was up against Bappy in the first series, in the first round, and he did go for a German taxi, a drop lord based all-in on Pylon. We could see that from SHIN as well. Not the same build, but an all-in nonetheless. Like, in general, aggression is favored on Pylon, so we'll see how aggressive both Arrogfire and SHIN are going to be. Oh, speaking of aggression, let's go! Twilight Council opener. This I was not expecting. I was leaning more towards SHIN cutting drones at some point, going for an early roach run and committing across the map, but no, that is not the case. Arrogfire instead at Twilight Council opener. With this, we have options. He pulls out. Does pull out. This does look like Glaive Adepts. Now, I'm a little bit torn because with Glaive Adepts, usually you get only 2 in both gas geysers. Here we have 2 and 3, so he only pulls 1 out of gas. So that's an interesting variation. Also, no Robo. Is this 3-gate Glaives into a 3rd? Or are we going for a Dark Shrine? As he does pull out. There we go. Robo is now on the way. That's a much later Robo. And we'll see if we throw down any further attack. He pulls back in. This has to be DTs, right? Oh my. Here we go. SHIN getting a 3rd base, back at home. And my eyes are definitely on Arrogfire. Because he pulls back in, this should be Dark Templar, but even then, we have yet to really invest as he pulls back out. Should also take of choice. Yeah, there it is, DTs. DT's gonna be on the way. Now, this is not too committed. This is an opener. This is a DT opener. This is designed to get a bit of damage done across the map to force a reaction. This can follow up with Archon drop as well, with a Prism, with a Robo Prism into Archon drop to get across the map to hunt down Overlords. And SHIN still has yet to piece it all together. And SHIN still doesn't really know what's going on. Does make a surge of Lings to deny a 3rd base. A 3rd base that doesn't exist. He's here for the 3rd. And SHIN, he will confirm there is no expansion. He's like, hold up, something's wrong. Something's wrong, something's going on. Where's your expansion? Roach Horn gets thrown down instantly. and gases as well. So for all Shin knows, this could be glaives, this could be DTs. Shin, he's not fully aware, so he's playing it safe. He distracts the Stalker. Stalker comes down, takes down one Adept. Oh, can he squeeze his way in? He is. He does squeeze in. Takes down another Adept. Oh, he wants it. Oh, barely not. Adept does survive, gets 2 probe kills, and the Overlord busts in and gets a full scout, confirms the Dark Templar. So Shin sees everything he needs to. He's fully aware of what's going on. As Lings, they do slip into the main, and more probes going to be going down, getting up to 4 probe kills. And back at home, DTs. Oh, there's still no detection though. The Spore's still on the way. DTs have arrived. It's close. He does save it. Nice body blocking. Does save the Spore. And Shin holds. Shin, he does hold on. So far, losing 1 drone, I believe. Yeah, 1 drone so far. Spores in both bases. DTs, they do slip into the main. They at least try to. Going for the Prism. Oh, 1 queen goes down. Shin does overextend. And speaking of, see Arrogfire, he wants that queen. Oh, he wants the queens. He wants them. Prism gets low. Oh no, the Prism does get low. Gets the full round. Prism goes out. Oh, the DTs as well. The Archon does morph in. Does go for the recall, but does not escape. Ay, ay, ay. That was a rough loss there for Arrogfire. He did fly too close to the sun. He got burned. He lost everything. Lost the Prism, lost the DTs, Shin defense, and there is still no 3rd expansion. 2 base all in. The gateways are being thrown down. We're just doubling down on 2 bases. And Lings, they ensure that there is no expansion. Blink is not done. No, no! Stalker gets caught. Yeah, Stalker does get caught out, but now pulls away. Takes down the Adept. Ensures that there is no expansion. And Arrogfire in a rough position here. Warping another Dark Templar. He is going to expand, does get a Nexus, but this is a very late Nexus. And behind this, Shin is droning. Shin, he's droning, saturating, getting into road speed. From here, we can see Evo Chambers on the way. Lings, they move out once again for another denial. Blink is still not done, by the way, but there is that Prism. So you can still juggle back those Stalkers. You can still save them. Meanwhile, Shin, he is cutting workers. Shin has a choice to make. He can get another base. He can join up on 3 bases, get a 4th base as well for Larva, and commit. And I think he will, just because he is still making more drones. We'll see. He's playing it safe for the time being. Ooh, drop Lords on the way. No Overlord speed. I think Shin may have forgotten that, by the way. As oh no, mind. Okay. Sorry. For some reason, I thought the drop Lord was back at home. So even without Overlord speed, we should be able to drop into the mineral line, into the natural. That should be okay. Meanwhile, Shin, he is still not droning, making more roaches, a brutal supply block, 7 Overlords on the way. That's a lot of Overlords. Okay, he's getting ready for that drop. He's getting ready. Wings, they hit the 3rd. No Charger takes down an Archon, brutal loss. So they do slip in. Once again, Shin holding onto the ramp, holding onto his 3rd. Lings, they take down the shield battery, drop into the natural as well. And the main army is hurting. As there's the recall back home. 3 probe kills, forces back Arrogfire. This doesn't deal critical damage, but does distract. It distracts him and forces him back home. Shin, he holds, he defends, and Shin can now turn this defense into an offense. Still no 4th base, which is a little bit concerning. No expansion, but Shin, he doesn't care. He doesn't care, he's not droning. Shin is built up for this counterattack. Back at home, no shield battery. 2 shield batteries are in production. But Shin has a massive army to work with. And now moving in. Starter steps forward, files on the army, does crazy Archon. And again, the shield batteries are just barely not ready in time. The Archons are going down one after the other, and Shin, he's done it. The concave is brutal, collapse on the main army. Archons juggle back. Oh my god. As there is no shield battery, does go down, and there's barely a standing army left. At the same time, Lings, they do threaten the natural. SHIN, he just started steps forward. There's one immortal remaining, down to 0 immortals left, just a handful of stalkers. Arrogfire doing what he can, but GG gets called, and SHIN, he will break on through. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew. SHIN, he will take a lead in the series. And as we said, Lynn, a big shout out to Just Me Executor in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime for 3 months. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And GG to SHIN. Again, Arrogfire being the aggressor, which caught me off guard. If you remember, I was expecting standard play out of Arrogfire, but no, he opened up Dark Templar into a commitment into 2 bases. But it was just a really rough start for Arrogfire. Winding it back, remember how it started? DT attack into the natural, into a drop into the main, and he lost every Dark Templar, and he lost the War Prism as well. For what? For 1 queen. He killed 1 queen in the process. Well, killed 1 queen, he traded with some lings, but that was not worth it. That was not good enough, so he did start from behind. He bled out a lot of units early on, and he was stuck on 2 bases, and from there, SHIN snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played with that. SHIN does take it. Now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing his new team, Weibo Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Protoss player, the Purple Protoss himself, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can tie things up and force the ace match. It is Arrogfire. Here we go. I do apologize. I did forget to open up the predictions at the start of the series, so my apologies here. Predictions are now open though in the chat. If you do wish, you can place your bets. Again, we're already halfway through, or potentially halfway through the series here. Already 1 match in, but best of luck. Best of luck with those predictions. As suddenly my eyes have to be on Arrogfire after that last game. I mean, I don't expect Arrogfire to play DTs 2 games in a row. No shot. I would expect game 2 for him to go for something more standard, but we'll see. We'll see. He could have tried to cheese SHIN out, go into Adepts, go into something more quirky. But now Hatch Gas Pool. Settling in. I do feel like that SHIN thrives in this kind of game state, in this kind of element. SHIN, he's very mid-game oriented, very much so. He's not really known for his late game. He's known for his 3-base play more than anything. That is where SHIN can be more comfortable. I think a good example of that is over the weekend, last weekend, we did feature SHIN during the May Mayhem, where he did have a much harder time against Showtime, for example. He was able to bring down and look quite strong against Hero and Max Packs, but Showtime was just so defensive and so, yeah, just defensive is the best word for it. He was just playing very safe as well, even inefficiently so, and he had a lot of success against SHIN. It was really a fun series, and I do recommend it, especially if you're out there looking to see like how to survive against all-ins and survive against aggression. Showtime was all over it. Here there's SHIN claiming his 3rd. Meanwhile, Stargate opener out of Arrogfire. Now we have a much more standard opener. Stargate opener into a 3rd base, into a more economic start. Now this can still lead into an early Twilight Council into Glaive Adepts. This can still lead into an earlier commitment. So we'll see the timing of the tech. We'll keep an eye on Arrogfire. SHIN never lets it get to the late game. Yes, in both ways. Like SHIN will either kill you early on or he'll die trying. Hey, that's, you're not wrong. Like one way or another, it's gonna end earlier. Ah, no. As Arrogfire does break in. Oracles are moving out. As the Oracles move out, you can see SHIN looking to delay that third base. Lings are moving out. And the third is about to be placed. It's going to be close. Oh! Lings have arrived. They go for the probe. And the probe is going to be shut down. Oh. It's going to be zoned away. So big delay here on the third. Oracle is deflected across the map. Lings, they come in for this round, but the Oracle does come out to defend, and the Oracle will clean up these Lings, barely getting one adept. And Arrogfire holds. He holds on, he can now expand, but this is a late third. So the third base has been delayed. Oracle does get some larva. Behind this, for Twilight Council looks like +1 and Blink Stalkers. Once again, Arrogfire going for a standard follow-up. From here, SHIN, he's just going to be taking his gases, droning. Safety Roach Warren on the way at 5 minutes. It's a 5-minute Roach Warren. We're not skipping it. Adepts, they threaten the shade. Oracles, they dive into the mineral line. Oh! So far, SHIN, he holds, he deflects. Sends away those Oracles. And doesn't quite commit across the map. He does see the lack of saturation. We're still building up. Arrogfire is still getting there. SHIN from here, I mean, he does see saturation, does see that probes are being made, so he takes a fourth. Takes another base. And we'll see if SHIN commits into something a little bit different here. Now, with Ling Roach as an opener, without upgrades yet, it's a bit of a later Evo chamber, this could be for a Spire. This can be Ling Roach into a Spire, into Mutas. This could be into Hydras, of course, into Hydra, into Roach Hydra instead. SHIN has options. +1 range has begun. So Hydras would make the most sense, but we're waiting for the Spire. So we're waiting for the Lair, I meant to say. Lair is now finishing up. We have Roach Speed on the way. More gases are being taken. So Arrogfire, he is taking up. He does take his gases. So gases at the third base leads into either Colossus or Storm. Storm is on the way. Arrogfire building up to the mid game. Meanwhile, we did mention it. There it is. There's the Spire. So again, Spire is a common follow-up after a Roach opener like this with delayed Evo chambers and delayed upgrades. So we were leaning towards Mutas. And this is a very cheeky way to play, but can he survive until Mutas though? Arrogfire applying a lot of pressure, picking up a lot of Roaches. SHIN setting up for a Ling run by. Queen goes down. And there is side defense back at home. Arrogfire, he does defend. Lings, they threaten the natural. Oh. SHIN getting on top of some of those Stalkers. And what's important here is that the entire attention of Arrogfire has been on the fourth base, and the Spire has been unscouted. So Arrogfire does not see the Spire. The Spire is still on the way. It's almost done. Oh, Stasis Trap does not connect. Lings are coming from behind. They get us around. And the Stalkers are going down one after the other. Brutal losses here for Arrogfire, even without the Mutas. Stasis is denied. And Arrogfire, he loses everything. Ay, ay, ay. We don't even need the Mutas. I mean, they're still coming though. 10 Mutas are on the way. But SHIN shuts down the main army. Storm does connect. Oh my god, oh jeez, oh god. Lings, they rush through the storm. And Arrogfire, he's holding on. SHIN, he rotates. Does find the fourth base, well that's a lot of storms. Storm is ready. Let's force back the army. Army is forced back. Mutas are moving out. Looking at the bases, nothing is ready here at the natural and nothing in the main. Again, Arrogfire, he's not ready for Mutas, he's expecting a ground army instead. And the scary thing about Arrogfire's position here is that we're the Stalkers. This is the army. Two Stalkers defend. That's the anti-air. And Archons and Storm, of course, as well, but less mobile. And there we go. Probes are going down. Mutas have revealed themselves. Hit the natural 8 probe kills already. Getting to 11, 12, 15. 16 probes go down. Mutas, they head into the main. Getting another 18, 19, getting up to 20, and the mutas are going to be thrown away. Yeah, we just throw away all the mutas. 24. 24 workers go down. Shin, he's still making more mutas. At this point, I would want to see just a hard switch into a ground army, into Ling Roach Ravager. Oh. Let's find the High Templar. Forces out 2 storms. Not bad. More mutas on the way. The natural base is still exposed. He does find another opening. Just nothing here to defend. Gets another 5 workers. Takes down 6. Almost 7. Doesn't lose any mutas. Pulls away. Now, I will say that this Hydrogen is late. Shin should be switching into Hydras and Lurkers. That should be the transition here for Shin, but this is a little bit delayed, which is a little concerning. Mutas are all coalescing. They're coming together. Going for the natural once again. Cashing a Phoenix. He gets 1. He gets 2. Yeah, both Phoenixes go down. High Templar as well. Storm doesn't connect. Oh, God. Better Storm towards the end, but that's still 14 probes. Shin, you're an animal. Shin taking bottom right and top left, taking all the bases, taking some of Arrogfire's bases even. Shin, calm down. Shin, you missed one. You skipped the base. I mean, he has map control. Yeah, his full map control. He's still gonna max out. Takes down an Immortal. Hits another mineral line. Base is swatted. This base should be denied. Like, there's no shot you hold on to this expansion. No shot. As you have to respect the storms. Ling Roach is responding. Mutas are rotation, gets spotted by the Observer. Arrogfire trying to keep up. He's got 2 High Templar, full of energy, and an Archon. That's a lot of storms. Up. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, the music is so low, but they take down the High Templar. Lings. Oh, sorry, he just camps the production. He camps the recall. Oh God, no, that was not it. The storms are brutal. The mutas, they just melt. The mutas, they crumble. Shin getting too excited there. That was how many mutas going down? That was 20 mutas getting caught in those storms. Shin, he plummets in supply and he's remaxing with Lings. Jesus, pure Ling. Or he's just committing to Ling muta. We're done with the roaches. Sure, he got the Hydrogen, but he never teched up. He never invested into the upgrades or into lurkers. Just double down on muta. And that can get you killed. Because mutas are so fragile. They have a lot of movements. They have a lot of mobility, I should say. That is true. But one wrong move and this muta cloud, it's gonna fall. It's gonna crumble. Depending on storms, depending on Archons, of course. But it is risky. Use the movement on the right hand side. They break through the wall. Lings, they try to bust in. There we go, the wall is broken. Lings, they flood into the main. Storms will zone. Mutas came to the production. And the High Templar are having a hard time keeping up. Now, is this worth it? Because we're throwing away a lot of supply here. A lot of Lings are going down, a lot of Roaches going down as well. So far, it gets 5 workers. You can see the supplies are actually quite close. Like, the supplies are evening up. Like, this remax of mutas has not been worth it yet. I say yet, but oh, actually. Arrogfire out of position. This base, this mineral line may go down. Let's get the hell out of here. Again, the ground army is just so slow. He's racing on over. Couple storm zone away. Takes down the gases. Shin is remaxing. What's the remax on? 30 meters. He has 30 meters and 26 lings. It's still just pure mutiling. And even though Shin has the advantage here, all it takes is some well-placed storms. A couple of well-placed storms. Oh, speaking of, not bad. He does take a lot of damage there. Shin, he has to be careful. This storm mainly zones. At the same time, Zella run by, takes down the spine. Doesn't quite get too much damage yet. Does force Shin back home. The Zelzay trade well for themselves. They do trade efficiently. We're up to how many? We're up to 37 meters. Soon 44 meters. Arrogfire is not able to keep up. Yeah, he's not keeping up. The base once again has to evacuate. One more volley. What a last. Oh, he gets it. Base goes down. Arrogfire, he just can't keep up. He can't keep up. Not like this. Oof. Takes down a Phoenix. Gets two. Gets three. Gets four. Jeez, gets four Phoenixes. Not like this. And Arrogfire is all in. This one he's all in, but he just doesn't really have much support here. Lings is all that Shin needs. Just Lings to collapse on the High Templar, to focus him down. And it's all or nothing for Arrogfire. He's had enough defending. He's deep on creep. And here comes Shin. Again, forcing out the storms, getting on top of the High Templar. Storms, he runs out. He's got two High Templar left. Shin, he catches reinforcements. Picks up the Archons. We have more storms trying to come in. And he just splits up. He just splits up his army. Takes down every High Templar. There's no more storms remaining. There's nothing left for Arrogfire. Again, he just wasn't able to scout. He wasn't able to confirm the mutas that were coming. And Shin will live for well. It was risky. There were a couple of good fights for Arrogfire, true. He had some good fights, some good moments. But he was just stuck at home and he just couldn't maintain his economy. He could not max out. GG gets called and Shin will take the series 2-0, taking down and knocking Arrogfire down to the lower bracket. GG. Whew. It's a scouting expansion. You're an animal. GG. GG, well played, Shin. He will take the series. Again, a very intense game too. Shin initially started off quite well for himself with the mutas. They went unscouted. He got a full mineral line worth of damage. And then he committed to mutas a little bit more, and Arrogfire took a better fight. He was able to take down 20 mutas, if you recall. He had a much better engage, but overall, he was still overwhelmed. Like, Shin just committed into more mutas, more lings. And Arrogfire just could not split in time. He didn't have the supply to defend multiple locations at once, and he was torn apart. He was torn apart by the mutas. GG. And with that, that leads us into our next best of. Here we go. Congratulations to Shin. He does advance on into the next round. Up next, we do have a PVT between Bunny and Art. Let's go. Let's go.